Sadnam. We are Jen and Ramtin from Heart Center Revolution.
Our intention with this podcast is to share the best of Kundalini yoga and conscious living with you so you can live a more heart-centered life. Satnam, and welcome to the 35th episode of the Heart Centered Revolution podcast. In this podcast, we explore some really deep and amazing topics. And so Ramtin dives into how our habits create our identity. And then also how practicing Kundalini yoga can help us strip away the pieces of our identity that aren't serving us, that we maybe subconsciously collected along the way, and how it allows us to consciously select and direct our lives and who we are. I have to say, listening to his recording, it was one of my favorite that I've listened to in a while. This is just a topic that I find really fascinating. This, like, how we have our sense of self and how our sense of self can seem so static and the same and true, right? Like, we can be so attached to, like, this is who I am, you know, strengths and faults included. But in reality, who we are is ever changing, and every day we're given a new opportunity to show up differently in our lives. So I really enjoyed this topic. And then after his class, his little chat, I'll lead you through a cannon breath pranayama. And so this pranayama is really great for strengthening your parasympathetic nervous system, which is the part of your nervous system that helps you slow down and relax. So if you're listening to this as it's published, which is during safe at home during coronavirus for most of us, this activation and strengthening of our parasympathetic nervous system is really, really helpful and really key. It's an oxymoron because there's a system to strengthen and activate that will help us relax and do less. And so that stress response we've all been feeling a lot lately is the sympathetic nervous system, that fight or flight, fear response, where you're kind of tense and your heart beats a little faster and all of that. That's your sympathetic nervous system. So the pranayama we're going to do today helps to strengthen or the counterbalance system, the parasympathetic. I also want to give another little disclaimer that this class that Ramtin taught that we're using as the basis of this episode was recorded before coronavirus spread and COVID-19 was affecting people. And so if a couple comments sound a little tone deaf, then that is why. But overall, it's an amazing discussion. So let's get right into it.
It's important. I think the kids are talking in the back here. It's important to kind of connect with our infinite self, or if you're going to call it the higher self, on a daily basis. As we have habitual ways of doing things in life, you go about waking up and as we wake up, the thoughts that come to mind about what needs to be done throughout the day, how we bring ourselves into that state of alertness, that how we used to do it, and then other thoughts that come as seemingly we don't have any control over. Right? So all of that is part of who we are. All of that is with us for a reason. And all of that creates who we know ourselves to be as an identity. And all of that is shaping our world, our perception of the world. And therefore, as we practice it, because everything is like a practice, your thoughts, your actions, your behaviors, your way of communication, everything is sort of practiced on a daily basis. And as you practice this, your behaviors, your thoughts, there's a response you receive from your body. That give and take is all now comes in a form of memory within your subconscious mind. So you keep that identity that you have, because that identity really keeps you alive, gives you a purpose. Now, it's not always pleasant, it's not always even desired, but it still is an identity. Without that identity, you wouldn't exist. The phenomenon of who we are as human beings, how our bodies are put together, the intelligence and energy source that had to go through many transformations to become this physical body that we are, gives us the choice, the free will, if you will, to shape this identity, this ego. Now, a lot of times, many people, they are recreating this identity by default, not realizing how it's created. So the purpose of Kundalini Yoga, a practice of Kundalini Yoga that we do, the practice of Kundalini Yoga helps you to realize what identity you have created for yourself already, and through the practice to release what you don't consciously become aware that you don't want, it doesn't serve you anymore, and consciously replace it with what you desire to replace it with. So come to the practice of Kundalini Yoga with the intention, I want to make my life beautiful. Simple as that. I want to make my life beautiful. And as you have that intention, as you bring that intention to every class, you're telling your body, you're telling your mind, you're telling every cell of the body, every aspect of who you are, energy aspect of who you are, that this is your intention. And the body will respond to this intention. The universe will respond to this intention. And as you bring that intention, you become aware of things that doesn't serve you anymore. Then the process of letting go of those things, of the attachments, of the thoughts, that process takes work. And you learn along the way what you need to do, what pieces you need to bring together to let go. Bring more commitment to the practice. Bring more discipline. Bring a new attitude. Bring a certain acceptance and belief. All of that you have always had, one form or another, towards something else that is part of you right now. Because all these components exist, whether you know it or not, you like it or not, it exists. You've done it. So you know how to do it. You've committed to many things. Even if you committed to staying in bed the whole day, you committed to that, whether you know it or not. But you don't put it as such. The realization that, yes, I have created this life for myself, one form or the other, and then I am in charge of being able to change it, should bring that feeling of empowerment. letting go of the boundaries that we feel inside, in our own thoughts and our own mind. That's why they say we are imprisoned by our own mind. Because that's where the limitation is. That source energy that created everything about your body is giving you everything on a daily basis. It's not that it's giving you and now it's stopped or is limited now. Before it was more, now it's less. It's giving you on a daily basis. It's a continuous process. That's why it's infinity. That's why you're part of the infinity, and that's how you connect with the infinity. Realizing that on a daily basis, you're given everything that's supposed to be provided for you on a daily basis, that we renewed, is done for you. So you don't have to do that. That's why you have the subconscious mind. So you don't have to remember every day that, oh yes, I need my heart to pump. I need my lungs to work in a certain way for me to breathe. You don't have to remember all that. You don't have to remember that, oh yes, I need my body to stay intact so I could be a human being and go outside and function. You don't have to remember that. That's done for you. In that simple recognition, that's how you realize that everything is being provided for you on a daily basis, on a moment-to-moment basis. And if you really connect with that thought and notion, it becomes easier for you to realize, yes, I could bring a renewed thought process. I could start anew on a daily basis. I could let go of my attachment. I could really be who I want to be without any fear. Allowing the fear to be there when it's there and then letting it go. Not to try to block it or struggle and fight with it, but just allowing it to come and go. That flow of energy. Okay? So we're going to work with this Kriya today, trusting the Kriya, working with the Kriya, giving it our best to move the energy as it's supposed to move in our body, for our awareness to now bring a certain form of energy so we could move what needs to be moved, was stuck in any part of the body, in our organs, in our muscles, in our tissues, in every cell. So we are now connecting all the systems, working in a harmonious way, so we could elevate our thoughts and not be bounded by what's in our subconscious through the conditional life, but renewing what's in the subconscious so we could elevate ourselves to connect with that force, with that energy that's renewing our life on a daily basis. And therefore we could renew ourselves with our own intentions and our own actions. Okay?
Beautiful. Oh my gosh, I love this discussion and these topics so much. One thing I wanted to expand on a little bit that I talk to clients a lot as a therapist is that the beliefs that you have about yourself, also known as like your identity, like how you see yourself and how you see the world, are just the result of thoughts that you have repeated and practiced over and over and over and over again. Well, that's true for us adults. As children, a lot of our ideas about ourselves in the world come from our environment. But as adults, it's the repetition of similar thoughts over and over and over again. And that's how we get most of our beliefs. And so the good news in that is that you can replace your beliefs by repeating new thoughts. And sometimes it's easier, instead of trying to like think a new way, sometimes it's easier to implement new behaviors. And so you can, for example, practice Kundalini yoga every morning, or you can go for a walk every morning, or you can, choose to eat healthier food. And I'm giving these suggestions without judgment if you're not doing those things. The point just being, if you repeat a new thought or repeat a new behavior, then you'll gain a new sense of yourself and of the world, and your beliefs will change. And as your beliefs shift, then the lens through which you see everything shifts. This is really what the core of all, personal growth, self-help type of stuff is finding new ways of being, new ways of seeing ourselves, and new ways of seeing others. Okay, let's transition now into our pranayama. So I'm actually going to teach this one first, and then we'll kind of set the meditative stage for it. So we're going to do cannon breath, which is a breath of fire, if you're familiar with that, essentially through an O-shaped mouth. And so if you can pucker your mouth, almost like you're going to do like a kissy face, but your mouth is making a round circle. And so you should feel some pressure in your mouth around your lips. And then you can put just a little bit of pressure in your cheeks. And then we'll do breath of fire through this mouth. So breath of fire is a quick breath. You can relax your mouth if you haven't already. Breath of fire is a quick, relatively quick and powerful breath that is powered by the navel. And so as you exhale, your navel will powerfully go back towards your back. And then as you inhale, you will relax your navel, open up your navel, and let the inhale come in. So breathing powerfully from that navel, using your belly to powerfully exhale, and then relaxing the belly to let the inhale come in. So go ahead and we'll try both of these things together. You can pucker your mouth with a round circle and then begin breath of fire through that mouth. And so if you start to feel dizzy or lightheaded, you can slow down the breath. And then if this breath isn't going to work for you at all, or if you get to the point where it's creating stress, then just relax into long, deep breathing, which is the breath we're actually going to start with. So now we'll bring ourselves into a nice meditative posture, lengthening the spine nice and tall. The heart is open, rolling the shoulders up, back, and down. Crown of the head is lifted. Chin is brought slightly back and down, so you feel that opening in the back of the neck. Your eyes can be focused at the third eye and closed, or just relaxed in front of you if you like. Then we'll begin by doing some long, deep breathing together. So inhale through your nose, filling up the belly. As the belly gets full, expand the ribs and the upper chest. Exhaling the opposite direction, chest coming down, ribs knitting together, belly back to spine. Exhale completely. Inhaling, belly, ribs, and chest. Exhaling, chest, ribs, and belly. Continue with long, deep breathing. 2 more breaths like this. Exhale. Inhaling. Now exhale completely. Bring your mouth into that O shape and begin breath of fire through that mouth. Eyes are closed, shoulders are relaxed. Keep up that breath of fire. Try to keep your cheeks firm so they're not puffing out with each breath. While the navel is pumping and the mouth is holding its shape, see if you can find relaxation somewhere else. Relax your shoulders, maybe relax your lips a little. See what you can melt into relaxation, but still hold the integrity of the pranayama. You might start to feel shifting in your energy, movement through your pranic field. Keep the breath going. If you're feeling dizzy or panicking, of course you can relax the breath and do long, deep breathing. But if you're not, I encourage you to stick with it. We have less than a minute left. You can go at your own pace if you'd like to go faster or slower than I'm going. Beautiful. Inhale deeply through the nose. Exhale completely. Inhale deeply. Exhale completely. Inhale deeply. Suspend your breath. Exhale, relax the breath, relax the body. Keep the eyes closed. Check in with yourself, your mental, emotional, and spiritual state. And notice any shifts created by canon breath. We did just about 3 minutes. And make a note to observe over the next, 6 to 12 hours, whether you feel an increased ability to relax and be still and be restorative. Go ahead and blink open your eyes. Beautiful. Nice work with that pranayama. If the messages Ramtin was talking about in this podcast of kind of renewing yourself, feeling refreshed, if you feel like you kind of need to reset your subconscious programming, a really great way to do that is to meditate daily. Ideally, you could commit to a 40-day meditation, but that really depends on where you're at in your practice. If you're just beginning, 40 days might seem like forever. And that's okay. It's really important as we move along our spiritual path and our Kundalini yoga path, that we honor where we're at, like our stage in development in this area of our life, and not compare ourselves to people who are in a different stage. So that being said, if you're looking to jumpstart or revitalize your home meditation practice, we do have a free 10-day meditation program. You get a video that teaches you how to do Kirtan Kriya, which is one of the most popular Kundalini yoga meditations. It's actually a meditation that's being studied a lot in the medical field for its benefits for our health. So if you want to learn more about the benefits of Kirtan Kriya and learn how to do it, and then in the 10-day program, you also get an email every day for 10 days guiding you through an 11-minute Kirtan Kriya meditation. So you can sign up for that at heartcenteredrevolution.com/10-day meditation. Or you can visit the page for this podcast episode, which would be heartcenteredrevolution.com/episode 35. And we have notes on the teachings in this episode, as well as a link to sign up for the free 10 days of Kirtan Kriya meditation. But we're so grateful to you for listening and for being on your own personal spiritual journey. And we just love you so much. Sat Nam.